99 of the four Chargers. This particular airplane, when it came off the assembly line in 29, was bought by a company called Pitcairn Airways. They started an outfit up called Eastern Air Transport. This Ford was Eastern Air Transport's first airplane, which became Eastern Airlines. So that this airplane is Eastern Airlines' first airplane. And it's still doing great. Eastern Airlines is long gone. When the Ford came out, the first one was built in 27. It was the first all-metal airplane manufactured in the United States where the passengers rode indoors. Before this thing came along, everything was open cockpit biplanes. You can just think about winter time in Wisconsin, you don't really go cross country. Open cockpit. So this allowed the airlines to get started with scheduled service. Yeah, I think the airplane's capable of cruising at 90 miles an hour. That doesn't sound all that fast, but in 1927 it was. That was really moving. So you could get somewhere in the roads. Because there weren't roads back then for Model A's and Model T's. If you were climbing a Model A or Model T back then and head to California, you pick a number, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something along those lines. The Ford could make it in 3 days. So that allowed transcontinental service to get started. The Ford's actually had a pretty short airline career, though. Most of the big airlines, their first airplanes were Fords. But 5 or 6 years later, the Great Depression came along and that just ruined ticket sales. And then Mr. Douglas came along with something called a DC-3 in the 30s, and that was faster and more better, hauled more people, and made the Fords obsolete real quick for passenger hauling, but they're perfect for cargo. They can haul anything you put in that door, weight doesn't matter, it just gets off and goes, and it's short, rough strips, it's just perfect for that job. So they're quickly all relegated to cargo bush lines, they all just disappeared during the Depression. This particular airplane, Eastern sold it to Cubana, Airlines out of Cuba, so it spent World War II flying around the Caribbean. After the war, I went out to Missoula, Montana to fight forest fires with a company called Johnson Flying Service. They used them to jump smoke parachute jumpers in close to the fires. But the good part, the best part of the Ford was it could land in those small mountain runways with short strips and grass strips and get the jumpers and their equipment back out. Really good for that. We restored the airplane back in 90. We put it back exactly the way it came from the factory in front. Painted the original paint job on it. The interior is exactly the way it came from the factory. Leather seats, black rubber molding on the floor. That was there in 29. It's got decorative wood paneling around the windows, pinstripe and little electric lights. That was all there in 29. Major difference is engines. It's supposed to have 300 horse right. You can't get those anymore. So it's got 450 horse Pratt & Whitney engines. They're really great engines. They're available and reliable. Anybody knows what a Twin Beach looks like? These are the engines off of Twin Beach. That's why we got them. Great motors. And because of that, the airplane's really going to get off short and climb right up. You can put big engines on an airplane, it won't go any faster. Haul more weight, climb better, but it still won't go faster than that. Back to life. So we're going to be cruising at 90 today, about 1,000 feet off the ground, just about 10 or 12 minutes in the air, and wait for the section. And one more thing I got to tell you, just like a flight attendant, we're required to show you how to do a seatbelt. So this is my friend.
Yes, those are the that use the seatbelt. So obviously, if you're use your metal flap, go undo it. You're supposed to let's see, remain seated all the time, keep your seatbelt on all the time. You typically take it off while you're in the middle of the air, so probably leave it on. You have to have it on for taxi and for takeoff. In the unlikely event of a water landing, there are seat cushions underneath the seat cushion could be used for flotation. There's no smoking at any time on the flight. And there are 3 emergency exits. There's obviously the door you're going to walk into, and there's 2 in the seat. There's one above the pilot, and there's another one behind the pilot. Both have a red handle on it. Pull on that, it'll open up the door. To get in, you'll have to keep your head down. Where the wing goes through the fuselage, it's pretty much a low point there. So you have to watch your head as you're going into the plane and walking up towards the plane. And you can take pictures anytime you want to. Have a good trip.